So before we get to the gardening week, just a quick announcement. It's our allotment open day next week on Saturday the 5th. I'll do a separate video with all the details about how to get there and all that sort of thing, but I will just pop all the Google Map references and things like that in the description of this video if you don't get to that. And I do encourage you to take a look at my newsletter. So it's steverichards.substack.com, and there's loads of great information in there. There's kind of like a similar sort of newsletter this gardening week, but with more content and lots of links to other resources and all of that sort of thing. But also there's now going to be lots of kind of hints and tips and guides and things like that for winter gardening, and what to sow in each month and how to make the decision as to what to sow when and all of that. So if you're interested in winter gardening or spring gardening or late autumn gardening, then take a look at the newsletter. So again, that's steverichards.substack.com. But again, I'll put a link down below for you to find that. So let's get on with gardening week. So it's time for another gardening week, and I'm going to clear this polytunnel out now. I'm going to get rid of these courgette plants. These are all mildewy now and way past the best. They've been giving us courgettes since May. They don't owe me anything. So I'm just going to strip those off. I just need some more space in here to sort of move around. And we're approaching seed sowing season again. And so I want to get my seed sowing station in here and yeah, clear some of these benches and things like that to create some propagation space. So I'm going to get these chopped up. But then I'm going to tip the old compost into my compost bin, and it'll get kind of reconditioned over the next few turns as I add loads of green material to it. And it's obviously got loads of roots in it as well, which will rot down and make nice compost. And then it'll get used, not early next year, but late next year. So basically this will be my autumn bin for next year. So the only problem I have now is I'm a bit short of composting space. I've got a little bit space in this bin, but really I need to get this bin emptied and on the ground. So that'll be good for replanting actually, since I'll be doing a lot of replanting in September and October. Oh, and this looks so much better to my neat freak eyes. Just looking forward to having space. So we'll start to do my late potatoes and things like that. And it's been really nice to have some space for these in here in case of blight. And yeah, just generally space to relax. So I wonder how many other people sweep their polytunnels. Not many, I don't think. There we go, we're all finished. So I've got my little potting station in here. Got my little temporary shade cloth up. Got my little camera mount here. And this just flips down out of the way when I don't need it. So one of the things I'm always going on about is the need to be flexible. And I was looking at the different beds that I've got at the moment. I want to get the purple sprouting broccoli planted. I've already got this bed planted and that bed over there planted, but I've got one batch left. And they really need to go in. I was going to put them over here in that bed, but it's so productive that I don't really want to take it out. And then I saw this bed and I thought, yep, this is the bed, because it's got onions in it. I really want to get these onions out. And obviously I can get the purple sprouting broccoli in here. It won't mind that it's being shaded by that asparagus. And that bed over there then sort of comes free in October time, and I can just be able to plant a sort of catch crop of lettuce or something in it in a few weeks time. So change my plans. So I'm going to take these onions out You know, it's not ideal in this weather, obviously. It would be nice if they were dry, but I'm going to put them in the polytunnel, and that's kind of nice and breezy and warm, so I think they'll dry off okay in there. So I've got 7 beds of main crop onions, and these ones that I've just harvested actually down here, these aren't the main crop onions, these are the Lila salad onions that I didn't get round to harvesting. And again, I'm always going on about what a great idea it is to plant your late batches, so the ones you sort of do in March, sort of February and March, of salad onions as a bulbing onion, just in case, as I say, you don't get around to harvesting them, because you get a decent harvest. These probably won't be great keepers, but these will probably be the ones that we'll eat between now and the end of the year. They're looking pretty good, actually. This isn't far off the size of the onion harvest that I actually managed to get last year, because we had such a disaster with the onions last year because we were sent dodgy seeds. But I've got another batch up here which have just, well, they're not finished drying, but they're reasonably dry, so I'm going to move those to the mini greenhouse. I'm going to put these on here, and then we're going to get on with the first batch of the main crop onions. So there we go, finished harvesting and sort of sorting out the bonus onions. So all of these onions were the ones where we interplanted. So most of them were interplanted into the lettuce bed, and so those are out of like a 1 square metre area. And yeah, total bonus harvest. You know, I planted my lettuce at a normal density, and once I took the lettuces out about a month ago, I just left these just to mature. So you know, just a month's worth of growing space basically. What a bargain harvest really for those. And then these are all the rejects, which are kind of used now. There's nothing wrong with them. None of them have gone to seed. The few that did go, I think I had 3 or 4, I've just composted those. But it's just ones like this, you know, there's a bit of a split in them, or you know, the skin's not quite intact, or they're just a bit small. Obviously these are way too small really to store, but they'll be fine, you know, for a month or 2. And then these will be fine for, as I say, sort of up until kind of the end of the year. And we had 1 onion that had root fly, so that was pretty good. So now I've got just the onions that were in dedicated beds, so not interplanted, not bonus harvests, but you know, actually invested some real bed space in them. So there we go, these beds are really designed for 4 of the big sort of purple sprouting broccoli, sort of brassica type things, but I generally put 5 in just because, you know, that gives me a bit of contingency. If I lose one, I can always transplant it. The things like purple sprouting broccoli, they transplant really well, you know, even late in the year. So I once transplanted some in sort of October and they did just fine. And I really like this bulb planter. I've got a big one as well, but I just find this little one's really, yeah, super convenient. So these sorry specimens are claret, and these are red fire. I haven't got quite enough red fire, so I've got 1 more claret to go in the centre there. But yeah, they're not really plants to be proud of, I've got to say, because they've been a bit neglected. They've just been sitting in the greenhouse whilst it's been raining a lot, so I haven't really been down to look after them. But I think they're going to be okay. It's amazing how quickly brassicas kind of get established and just grow away like crazy in this sort of weather, provided they get a good watering in. Even though the ground's really wet already, I just find that, you know, a watering in just helps them to get established. So I'm just going to pop one in here, and it's in one of those big long containerized pots, so I need to make an extra deep hole. So now I just want to take this net that's behind me, which isn't really needed. It's just been stored there. It's over the parsnips and the shallots. Get that on here. So now I've got the cover off, I'm just having a look at these shallots, and the first thing I'm noticing is they're pretty big. They're certainly big enough to harvest, and the second thing is a couple of them have gone to seed, so I think it's definitely time to take them out. So I'm really pleased with that. This is just another great bonus harvest. I love these bonus harvests. You know, the parsnips are fine now, they'll just grow on, and yeah, we got all those extra shallots out of the same bed. I love it. Okay, so here we go, another week, another table. I'll just skim through this because it's pretty much the same as last week's. So we've got mega beetroots, and these are the nice second early potatoes, and these are the last. I just found an odd tub of earlies, so they're still quite small, but they keep really lovely. And then we've got the little onions for pickling, the medium-sized onions for eating now, and obviously loads and loads of onions starting to pour in at the moment. And then we've got peppers, courgettes, cucumbers, more courgettes, more cucumbers, shallots, just finished drying those, some green garlic, some runner beans. Somewhere, again, we've lost the French beans, but we have got French beans somewhere. And carrots, kales, collet leaves, Brussels sprout leaves, calabrese, red cabbage, celery, leeks. Actually, these are the last of the early leeks. So we're just about to start next week with the new season leeks. Parsnips are ready now, so that's nice. Garlic, plenty of garlic about. And yeah, tomatoes, more cucumbers, and the salad mixes. I've just got to add the cucumbers to the salad mixes, and then we're all done. And Debbie has found the French beans. So I hope you like this quick video. My name's Steve, this is the Seaside Kitchen Garden and Allotment channel, and I'll see you soon.